Hi, welcome to Earth Wisdom Fire Tarot. I'm Simone, and I know it's been a while. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now. I feel like it's all in divine order. I want to say unequivocally that Black Lives Matter and that Black people deserve to be completely liberated from this horrific and completely unjust and insane white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalistic, like imperialist bullshit. I feel like, the whole system needs to fucking burn down. Okay. Like, I'm saying that, like, that's just the beginning. That's like the depths of, um, depravity that I feel like this system has gone to, behind closed doors and now completely just like straight up in front of our eyes is like completely unforgivable, honestly, and it needs to just completely burn down. So I if you've been protesting, like I am 100% on your side. If you have been extremely angry and confused and been feeling a lot of despair about all of it, I totally understand. I actually have a whole list of channel messages that I want to share. I'm going to be sharing that on my Simone Ascending channel, which my guides have told me I'm supposed to keep posting on. Um, but all my readings are going to be on this channel, so definitely stay tuned for more readings. I'm doing this general reading for the eclipse, but I'm also going to do specific readings for the modalities, so it'll be a little bit more personalized, and then I'll be doing individual zodiac sign readings, which will include all of this eclipse energy. So this is the eclipse video for June 5th. It's in Sagittarius. We also have two more eclipses coming up very, very soon, like within the next month. So there's a lot that we need to, be aware of in terms of this eclipse energy. And I'm just here to channel messages for you for this energy. So, that being said, I definitely want to do my part to I've already donated a lot of money, but I want to like further that effort. So, what I'm doing is just email me at Simone Ascending. That email is just easier for me to use right now. At simoneascending@gmail.com. Email me your receipt to like donating to any effort that is furthering Black liberation, is supporting getting protesters out of jail through bail funds, is supporting dismantling, this crazy system, abolishing police, all of that. Supporting it's also Pride Month, so supporting Black trans people, Black people of color. Um, Sorry, not you know what I mean. I just like anything that's definitely furthering this effort to make things right. Anything that could like be under that umbrella of reparations or just like community support, mutual aid projects, feeding people who are hungry due to the virus, due to the instability, helping rebuild any kind of business that's been burned down, that's owned by Black people or owned by people who are disadvantaged in any way, especially homeless people of color, like for sure. I want like all of that energy to be bolstered. So if you want to donate to any of those, just like email me your receipt. Doesn't need to have any personal information. Just whatever sort of proof you can show that you've donated to one of these organizations. It doesn't have to be from this day on. It could, if you've donated in the past week or two, um, then definitely let me know, and I will do a free guidance reading for you. And it won't be free, it'll just be an exchange of energy. Um, but I definitely want to help support um, the movement that way. That feels in alignment for me. If you want a more specific reading, then you can go to my website, earthwisdomfire.com. And like I said, I've been donating pretty much every single day. Like I'm just giving out a lot of energy that way, but there are other ways that we can get involved as well. I just want you to know the role that I've been playing and the role that you can play if you want to support this channel, want to support me in some way. That could be a way you could do it. So, yeah, I guess I'll just get into the reading then. loving it. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles. No longer waiting. I feel like, and personally, like I'm at the most patient point I've ever been in my whole life on a personal level in terms of things that I've been trying to manifest on a personal level. But when it comes to the justice, when it comes to what's been owed, like what's coming due, like there's no more patience for that anymore. So the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like, is really talking about that old structures need to be completely upended, and there's really no longer any time to wait. With the Four of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like it's really about like not keeping anything hidden, like not keeping anything closed up and too close to the chest. And if you've been in some kind of waiting period or holding period, it just feels like um a lot of things are coming to a head right now. And I feel like this is really about resistance. If you've been resisting doing the thing that you know you need to do to make things right, doing the thing you need to do to be in a position to be of service to others, doing the thing you need to do so that you feel peace, that you feel in alignment, there's no longer any time to wait. Like you've got to get moving on things. You can't stay on the sidelines of your own life. You can't stay on the sidelines of this liberation struggle that is, that the whole world um, is fighting for right now. There's really just way too much at stake. And I feel like this Two of Swords in reverse is really saying that deep down, you know exactly which direction you need to go. You know what the truth is. You know what you need to speak to in order to be on the right side of history. Like that's really the place that we're at now. So you are going to feel kind of like you're in between lives for a little while. You're going to feel like some things need to come to a full close. And I like that this Ten of Swords here, because it means that there's this closure that you're seeking that is coming. This Three of Wands is really, with coming out this Two of Pentacles, means that whatever kind of plans you've been wanting to make for your life, now is not necessarily the best time to like pull the trigger on anything. But know that any actions that you do take right now are extremely consequential, and you need to be in a place, like you need to feel centered, you need to feel grounded, you need to have that internal clarity before you take any action right now, because it's like time is running out. Like there's really no time to wait here in terms of what's like permanently going to inform your future. These are very this is a very, very powerful energy. This eclipse portal, these like 3 eclipses that are happening back to back to back, it's extremely consequential. So just know that you need to take your time. You need to interrogate all options. This Page of Swords is about really doing your research. And I feel like, because this is in Sagittarius, it's really about seeking truth and seeking this seeking connections between disparate maybe theories or philosophies, or even healing modalities, just like ways that we could get free, ways that we can get healed. And with this Page of Swords, I feel like it's really just like doing your due diligence and really doing your research. This is a fantastic time to get educated on how things got to this point as a collective, like how things got to this point as a country and as a world. And then looking inside yourself and see how things got to where you're at now, and just see if you're ahead of the curve. Because honestly, if you're resonating with my readings, you probably are. You've probably gone through the kind of things that are coming up to the surface now as a collective on a personal level. You've done your own shadow work, you understand that process. So just pay attention to all that and just really gather evidence, gather knowledge, gather details, and just kind of keep a lot of this to yourself. I wouldn't say you need to be seeking out conversations. You don't need to be seeking out conflict. I feel like with this Eight of Swords, it's really about recognizing the ways that you're still not free, and wondering what you can do to further your own freedom. Because the thing is that none of us are going to be free until all of us are free. And there may be ways in our own life that we feel free or that we know would make us feel free, but unless we're contributing to that on a global and collective level, um, we're all going to feel like we're being held back or that we can't fully break through into our dream life or onto the other side of like, you know, this hellscape that like the world seems to have come to, and how it's pretty much always been, or it's been for a very, very, very long time. So with this Magician card in reverse, this is not a good time to force anything, or this isn't a good time to like manifest based on your own desires. There's like this selfless energy in the air right now. It's like about what you can give and do for others, not necessarily what's going to benefit you on a personal level. So with the Magician card being in reverse as well, like I said, taking action right now is going to have such major consequences and it's going to be so permanent. You want to avoid making any kind of really, really big life decisions. Just keep your options open and just keep like doing your research and gathering details, gathering information. With the Six of Cups, I feel like um, there are going to be moments where you have nostalgia, where you're looking to the past. And I feel like the Six of Cups is about really looking to the things in your past that you haven't fully let go of, you haven't fully interrogated or healed. There's just like this conversation you need to have with your own past. And you really need to dig deep and understand yourself on a deeper level than you ever have. Like I just feel like this whole reading is just about going super, super deep. And in the, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but sidereal, I can never remember how to actually, it's like sidereal or something astrology, sort of like Vedic astrology. This eclipse is actually happening in Scorpio, so I might actually put that in the title because I feel like a shift over to that kind of like way of thinking about astrology. Like I'm kind of in between tropical and sidereal. Anyway, so it's in Scorpio, and Scorpio is about going deep, and it's about like really, really deep emotions and really, really deep understanding of the process of death and rebirth. There's a lot that has to die in order for something new to be reborn. And when I was shuffling, and when I was like, I actually did a previous version of this reading that like completely got lost because of we're already in this Mercury retrograde energy. The Empress card came out, which is like a rebirth energy. So definitely feeling here, especially with the Knight of Cups coming after it, that nothing is worth pursuing unless it is for the purpose of feeling free. Like it's about feeling free, not being told that you're free, not like thinking that you're free, but like feeling it really, really deep down in your bones, like feeling it in your heart, and then taking action based on that, taking action from that place of deep alignment and deep knowing and understanding of your own emotions and how you feel, and really just trusting how you feel and not needing anything else in order for you to like actually pull a trigger and make a decision. But I feel like when it comes to that, there's still a lot more that you need to understand, because like the Page of Swords is like the kind of like intellectual exploration of this. It's sort of like the facts, like getting the facts and getting all that kind of lined up in a row so that you're organized for what's next. And then the Knight of Cups is like your heart is really leading you in a direction, it's leading you to certain knowledge and understanding. And then you have the Temperance card, which is alchemy, which is peace. And it's a very different energy than this Magician type of alchemy, where it's like trying to turn one thing into another or trying to make something happen, trying to force an outcome. The Temperance card is about just really sitting with everything as it is. It's like this deep acceptance and this peace that comes from just knowing the truth. Everything really comes from a place of love, and that's like the place that everything is headed. So I really love that message coming through, because it's like knowing that you're really protected, knowing that you're guided, knowing that change and transformation is inevitable, you know, knowing that everything is, it's all good, everything is really truly all good. That's where this peaceful energy is really going to come from. And you're going to see a lot of people, you know, you've seen it this past week, calling for peace, calling for calm, all that kind of stuff. But they were trying to get there before there was justice. So like when I was seeing the cards and I saw the Temperance and the Justice card come out, I was hearing the chant, no justice, no peace. And I just love that they came out here together in the upright, because that's really what this is about. This is about justice for all. And you need to see in your own life how things have played out. If anything still feels like it's been unfair, or if anything still feels like you haven't gotten closure, you haven't gotten the clarity that you wanted to about it, I do feel like this eclipse energy is sweeping a lot of stuff out of the way so that you can feel tangibly that sense of justice and that sense of closure and that sense of peace in your own life. I feel like this justice card is really talking about the honest truth that was always there. The truth was always there at the heart of it, but there are these other layers that were preventing you from fully embodying that truth or fully embracing it. And the truth, at first can kind of feel scary or feel ugly because it's outside of your comfort zone. It's like it's not what you're used to. But eventually it will feel peaceful, it will feel comfortable, it will feel right if it doesn't feel like that automatically. So, but I feel like for most of us, what's really happening is this clarity that's coming through is like lighting a fire inside of us. So you have the Eight of Wands. Wands cards are about fire, energy, passion. And the eight number is really about self mastery. So I feel like what's happening here is this peace and this justice and this closure that you're getting on the past cycle is giving you a sense of direction. It's giving you a sense of purpose, and it's lighting the way for what's next for you. And that's really important because if you're taking action on anything, it's really about your emotions, your feelings, and your energy. It's not like you're not really saying much here. You're not really saying much. You're not really doing anything. It's more like you're embodying this truth so deeply that anything else has to kind of burn up around it. And this clarity is coming through in the form of a very fiery, passionate energy. Like Eight of Wands is like the energy that you've been putting out is coming back to you. But it's also like this karmic energy, this like karmic realignment, this balance that needs to come through is on its way. So this eclipse is like, I feel like a first step. It's not going to feel totally settled anytime soon. It's not going to feel totally like wrapped up in this neat bow. It's like it's going to be overlapping with these other kinds of very powerful energies. So that's why I said, or may not have said it in this version. I may have said it in an old version of this video because I've tried to make it so many times. But like grounding is going to be extremely important during this time. Taking time to really like taking your time on things and not rushing to make any kind of decision, because all decisions being made right now are extremely consequential, and there's really no going back once you made those kinds of decisions. You're going to see like permanent change come about because of it. So if you're like already at a place where you're extremely in alignment, you know yourself, you have felt that, deep sense of truth and closure on past cycles, then this may be a good time for you to set intentions for what comes next. But for everybody else, and I feel like this is the vast majority of us, we still have things that we need to learn. We still have things we need to explore. We don't have all the answers yet. And we need to let this eclipse energy do its thing so that we get to this place where we feel peaceful, where we feel that closure, and when we can feel that what we've been asking for and what we've been putting out is coming back to us like eightfold. So really liking that energy. This is a really powerful time to just like observe what's going on for you internally, observe what's going on outside of you. Know that, justice is coming, justice for all, and nothing's ever going to be the same. And it's for the better, for sure. It's for the better. So bottom of the deck is sophistication. So there's like a refinement here. So like I said, if you're resonating with my videos and you're resonating with this video, it feels like you've already done a lot of shadow work. You've already kind of, you already have a lot of the pieces in place for you to actually do whatever it is you need to do, be wherever it is you need to be. A lot of that work is already done. This eclipse energy is just like kind of sweeping up um, these last little steps. And they're not little steps, it's a big energy, but there isn't a lot that you can do on your side except to embody, except to be, except to like trust and feel deeply into this energy, to just really observe and to kind of keep your cool about all of that. Um, so we have frustration, which will come if you try to fit something where it doesn't belong. So this is like a square peg trying to get into a round hole here. And that's really what I feel like has tripped up a lot of us in the past, was really trying to make something fit where it didn't belong, or trying to force clarity before it was time. A lot of the pieces that you need in order for everything to kind of come together, they've been making their way to those places, but we can't speed up that process or force it before it's time, before it's ready. Use this time to really cleanse your energy. So do rituals that will purify and cleanse your energy. Use a lot of white light, use white candles, get in salt baths, do those kinds of things. This is going to be a great time to do that. This eclipse energy will help like really move that process along. And then once you've done that, once you've really cleared out a lot of the old stagnant energy, call in protection. So then we have reflection here. I like that it's an X because I feel, oh, it's rejection, not reflection. So that makes a lot of sense. But I feel like I thought it was reflection because it was almost like really being able to discern like what really is for you and what's really mirroring your energy back and what's not. And that level of discernment is going to help you understand this process of rejection. So if you're experiencing rejection, or if something that you want hasn't fully come to fruition, just trust that it didn't for a reason, that it was protection. It was protecting you from um, a path that wasn't really for you, that wasn't going to satisfy you and fulfill you. It wasn't going to set you on fire, make your heart sing. It was really just going to weigh you down and drown you. Like that's really what it feels like. So clarity is coming through here about a lot of things that had to go wrong in your past, seemingly go wrong. There really were no mistakes. Nothing ever actually went wrong. And if you've been experiencing regret, or you're been experiencing, or like this eclipse, this lunar eclipse energy is bringing up feelings of regret or guilt, um, just know that all of it was in divine order. And when the clarity comes through, it's all going to make sense to you. That clarity, like I said, cannot be forced. It's coming through as a gift for doing the shadow work and doing the hard work of looking at yourself and taking accountability. That's what I'm really getting here. Taking accountability. Yeah, really taking responsibility for the choices and decisions that you've made in the past. So every single decision that you've made has been consequential in one way or another. And I think the clarity that's coming through right now through this eclipse energy is really seeing that in real time and seeing it ahead of time. Like all this is making all of us extremely psychic so that we can see the consequences of our actions before we actually make them. And that's an extremely powerful tool. That's like a superpower. That's a gift. So we have the void, which is really about embracing the unknown, and understanding that from that unknown, everything is possible. Anything is possible. And that's really what true manifestation is about. That's why we can't really get into the small details of like, this kind of methods of manifestation. We need to do the real true work of like aligning to our destiny, aligning to what's meant for us, and really trusting that we're on a certain path for a reason. So we have number 2, the quest. Plunge boldly into life. Plunge boldly into the thick of life and seize it where you will. It is always interesting. Goethe. Your perception is most accurate when it's inside out. You cross the threshold from the ordinary world into the special world. It is here the rules of the ego and polite society no longer apply. In the ordinary world, it was acceptable to run from the things that scared you. In the special world, you walk toward those things with open arms. In the ordinary world, it was acceptable to associate falling with failing. In the special world, it is an invitation to explore your depth. In the ordinary world, it was customary to pretend you don't have a shadow. In the special world, your shadow is where your greatest gifts arise. In the ordinary world, when something was bizarre, you disregarded it as irrelevant. In the special world, strangeness is an indicator of value and importance. In the ordinary world, it was acceptable to blame other people for your difficulties. In the special world, you take full responsibility for your experience. This is just what I was saying, and I really love this, how it keeps, like, there's this emphasis on um the old world and the new world. The old system, the old way of being, it has to come crumbling down. We have to let go of it. We have to mourn it and move on. And I like that this reading isn't really dwelling so much on mourning, on letting go, because a lot of that process has already been done. Now it's really just about accepting where we're at, accepting that there's no going back, and really being clear. And it's like we're given this gift of being able to deliberately choose what's next for us in our personal journey. Um, Being able to have that choice and not have that choice being made for us is what we've been asking for, is what we've been praying for when we're asking not to feel pain or feel suffering, when we're asking, why things had to happen the way they did. This is the gift that's been given to us right now, that we have this power of being able to set our intentions for what's next, and being able to avoid the same kinds of mistakes and problems that we thought were our fault in the past. They weren't. It was just like we were replaying a lot of old scripts, and replaying, like, we were kind of like dead inside. We were kind of like, what's it called? Just kind of like acting out a script, acting out a pre-planned sort of way of showing up in the world. And now it's like we have a choice how we want to show up in the world. We have a choice of what we want to experience. And this is laying the groundwork. Just let this eclipse energy do its thing. If you need to focus on anything, just focus on that grounding, that cleansing, that clearing, that protection energy, and just allow the clarity to come through. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.